So they keep bothering me. I used to hide my stuff behind that fire pole. And now they moved their other stuff to block the way so that it do like I'm the one. They've been having people trying to bump into me, the workers, with the ticket vendors. Yeah, and they'll threaten me with violence after that. I'm like, okay, stop sexual harassing me, stop trying to bump into me, because I always hide behind this fire pole. So now this guy moved this food truck, to block the fire poles. I won't be able to. So it should be like I'm the one in the way. You know. So this is gang harassment. It's also always been rude to me also. You know. So this is gang harassment. Normally they have the food cart over here and one over here. And now they're rearranging all the stuff to make it easier for people to bump into me. And I think that's the excuse they want to use. I've been hearing Africans like me getting killed. The black Americans will beat you to death. So to make it easy for a black American to beat me to death, I used to hide underneath this pipe, this extinguisher. So this guy moved his food truck to cover the extinguisher. So so the black American ticket vendor, they always try to beat me up. Say I'm in their way. I said, get out of here, nigga. Before we punch you to death. So they're setting me up to be killed as an African. And there's a law against lynching. My mother's been killed. Somebody happened in Staten Island after the police took my home, Regana. They killed them also. They're just killing. Even before they killed my mother, they were stealing all her stuff. She had a Canadian Social Security card. They stole it in the shelter of Staten Island. And she's like, who steals a Canadian Social Security card in America? She used to live in Canada for a while. So they're setting up fights with people to rob them. And I believe this guy also always sprays water anytime I'm here. Today, he didn't even spray water. I didn't see anything. Today, it's a different torture. Usually, I came here late. Usually, I come here around 8 a.m. And usually, the whole floor will be wet when I'm here. So this has to be investigated. Because this is called lynching. And nobody has right to be lynching somebody. Usually, all the food carts, they space them out. They don't come close to each other like this. This is just so weird. This is like a collusion. Because they always try to space it out so that they know. Because they're all different companies. And why they decided to block up the whole sidewalk? Just to chase me away as an African. They don't want me begging for money near them. They always tell me to go away, go away. I see you finally getting rid of me. They doesn't want to go either. So they decided to collude. Everywhere I go, they'll tell me they don't want me. Even when Eric Adams was mayor, was the borough president, I used to go to 36th Street and 4th Avenue, Park Slope. There's a phone kiosk where I normally charge my phone and go online. And the Turkish restaurant there, the poor one, said, get away, we don't want you here either. And they were trying to set me up so the police can come and arrest me for fighting. At that time, they said Turkey was bribing Eric Adams. And I was trying to get justice against the police. And apparently that Eric Adams was jealous. And, because they said some black Americans don't like Africans. And also, his family friend, Eric Adams, was trying to help me on Staten Island get justice against the police. And the police when I took his family friend there. So I think he was trying to use his phone to get me killed also. And, and I think he believe they can get a whole lot of money for the Arigano family if I'm killed. I use that as a leverage to say, look, there's, this African has been killed also, so you better pay us money because we know why. There's so much killing, Arigano killed, and so it's like they're trying to kill me as a leverage to make money. And every time I'm here, the black American workers of the Statue of Liberty will be trying to bump into me. Say, get out of here, nigga. And normally I hide behind that fire extinguisher, pipe. But now they brought their food cart to block the fire extinguisher. So to be like I'm in the way. So they're setting me for false arrest. I'm a Nigerian. So that people use it as a crosswalk. So they want people to be bumping into me to make it look like I'm a crazy Nigerian, just fighting with everybody, and they can deport me or even beat me up to death. So this is what is going on. And the Nigerian embassy wouldn't help me either. My manager used to jump her also. At the time I was taking the NYPD to court, she called the NYPD terrorists. And Trump's friend Bernard Kirk at that time, 2010, when my mother called the NYPD terrorists, On WB11 News, Trump's friend was the Homeland Security Chief. He was the former NYPD commissioner. So, and he made a statement right away that some people are losers that stay with their child in the basement apartment. He told the media that like was acting like it was just in the nando. They said people would sometimes make general statements even though they're referring to a specific person. And same time my mother was getting followed, and regarding that I was trying to help me and my mother with the call because got followed and jumped and killed. You know, so this Eric Adams is friends with the Eric Garner family. So they believe, since so I think that they're under the illusion that it may be me they really want to kill because my mother called the NYPD terrorist and me and my mother are Nigerians. So they mistakenly killed his family's friend Eric Garner. So I believe this Eric Adams wants to work with these white people. Say, I will have you kill this person and then pay all the money to the Eric Garner family. So these Eric Adams have been bringing policies. So he wants the police to be arresting homeless if they're causing trouble. I don't cause trouble, but I always hide behind this fire hose pipe, and the food cart's always like over there. So now I decided to bring more food carts to block the fire hose pipe, so I won't be able to safely hide. And sometimes people ride their bicycles when driving, or their wheelchairs. So they want me to be either people to hit me and claim I was blocking the crosswalk because I was looking for money and freedom. So this is illegal collusion. This is racketeering, and this Eric Adams controls the New York City Department of Consumer Affairs. Normally, they should have come here. The Department of Consumer Affairs, I send them videos all the time on Instagram. They should have come here and seized their food trucks. So you can't be using your food truck to set up a fight between Black Americans and Africans. So these Indian guys, they're using them to, the Black Americans. I applied. I said, please block the way. There's a huge Black American guy. It's huge like this. So I'm going to fuck you up, nigga. I always bump his body on me. I'm going to knock you down, nigga. So I believe, it works for the tour guide. The call them Way. Their name starts with Way. Tour guide. They're the vendor of the Stand Ferry, of the Statue of Liberty. So I believe, they're colluding that we're going to kill the African, just block the way. So we'll claim we're crossing the street, and the African always come to cross it. So, so this is like a illegal collusion, and Eric Adams controls the Department of Consumer Affairs, and they don't help me. I send videos all the time. Even Lolita James is the Attorney General. She went after Trump. She doesn't help me. I've been trying to get her to help me since my mother was still alive. After she called the NYPD terrorists, the NYPD was coming after my mother, and I went to Lolita James' office. She was the public advocate. She was in charge of, investigating corruption by the NYPD. And she was helping her fellow Black Americans. Some of them had problems with private landlords. And these are the people she was helping. And the court had to sanction that as the public advocate, you're supposed to be, investigating government officials, not private landlords. And the court was scored her that she needs to be taking up cases of public corruption, like police cases. Like I wanted her to take my case. My mother was selected to Ghana, and she wouldn't take my case. And now since then, Eric Garner said he was going to take my case, and the police killed him immediately. I believe it, Lolita James had taken my case around that time that I needed her to. Before Eric Garner got killed, they wouldn't have killed Lolita James because she always takes on all these people, but she wouldn't help me as a Nigerian. And made it easy for the police to go and kill Eric Garner. So they're all covering up something. So my life is in danger, and you Nigerian embassy, you're not helping me. I'm not looking for any marriage to anybody. I'm not looking for any surrogacy. I've been getting all kind of suspicious requests made to me. I'm not looking to be part of any kind of scam operation. So please stop with all your fraudulent requests to me. I was born a male. I'm not a woman. I'm not looking to get married to anybody. I'm not looking to have a baby with anyone. If I die, I'm not looking for anybody to. I was born a male, so I still have a penis. I don't want anybody to take my sperm and create a baby. I don't. If I'm killed or die, only civil activists like me should administer my state and get justice for me and my late mother, and give the rest of my asset out in charity donation to people suffering xenophobia like me and my late mother. And those being deported by Trump should get money for my charity donations also. And in case I'm knocked down, I can't get up, and I'm in coma, I shouldn't be removed to Nigeria because I don't know who hired these Black Americans to say they're going to knock me down. So I guess they were just trying to get a way to get me moved to Nigeria. So I guess I could be raped in Nigeria, and they can create babies and kill me in Nigeria and say the baby should inherit all my money. I've been trying to sue the U.S. immigration for arresting me wrongfully in 2000 when my mother brought me as a child. And I've been trying to sue the NYPD for taking my home in 2010. And I've been trying to sue Bellevue Hospital. My mother said Doris Valentine and Flora were into the inheritance scam. And they framed my mother up as crazy, got her locked up in Bellevue Hospital while my mother was treating her heart disease there. My mother said she didn't even tell her what hospital she was in. And she didn't know who told our daughters the hospital, which is a violation of EPA. EPA said patients in America have the right to privacy when they're getting treated. And our daughters barged into the hospital. My mother didn't tell me what hospital she was in. She didn't tell nobody. That's why I couldn't even go there, Bellevue Hospital. And I was calling her though to find out how she was doing. And she told me our daughters invaded the hospital without her even telling them the name of the hospital. She didn't know who gave them the information. And they were trolling her, and they told the hospital to lock her up. And my mother got so angry. They said she's eventually died, and they told the hospital not to do an autopsy, so they don't want to know how she died. And I told the hospital I wanted an autopsy. They said the address said they don't want to know how she died. It's okay. My mother still going to inheritance scam. So this is weird, whereby people, those who are born in America, people with U.S. citizenship, can think we Africans, can be killed and there's profit to be made. So I believe this Eric Adams is trying to get me killed also to use it as a leverage to get more money for the Eric Adams family. Because now it can then, play both sides. So they said the Eric Adams family are family friends, and he's been telling the police to be attacking homeless people on the street. Some Africans selling stuff. The police are harassing them. Those Africans sometimes give me money so that they can give me $40 a day. And as soon as they started giving me money, they said Eric Adams sent police to be harassing them, knocking them on the floor. They seized more than $1 billion of their assets. They sell shoes and bags on the street. So he's trying to choke life out of me and all kind of person out of me. I believe he thinks the Eric Adams family can make more money if I'm killed, and then they can then start another lawsuit that will and make it look like I wasn't set up. It was just the police that were intending to kill me, and they killed Eric Garner first and eventually killed me, and they were helping the feds because I was trying to sue the feds for arresting me wrongfully in 2000 when I came into the country with my mother. And Bernard Kerry, Trump's friend, was the head of Homeland Security when my mother called the NYPD a terrorist organization on WB11 News around 2010 for taking me and my mother to almost Staten Island. And since then, my mother said she was getting followed, getting jumped. They were robbing her of everything. They were starting to fight with her everywhere she goes, steal everything from her, even her Canadian Social Security card. And she had to flee the shelter here in Staten Island and thought that she could go stay with her daughters in Pennsylvania. And she said even her daughters, they seem to be involved in that kind of gang affiliation, that they were also, our daughters were trying to beat her up also. So my mother didn't understand why everybody was trying to kill all of a sudden. So she suspected the daughters may be trying to get money by killing her and getting money from life insurance policy or through inheritance scam, because me and my mother was suing the police. So our daughter's husband, Yayinde, who's a U.S. soldier, black American, tried to punch my mother when my mother was living with her daughter in Pennsylvania, Florida. Then my mother moved to another daughter's house, Polanyi, also in Pennsylvania. So that one would leave, snow on the floor. She never used to do that before. So that daughter used to work for a law firm. So she had a house at 21, bought a house at 12. So she was always very responsible. All of a sudden, in 2015, when my mother went to live with her Polanyi, so anytime snow falls, it would leave snow all over the floor. To make it easy for my mother to trip and fall. And so one day somebody came and visited them, and the person slipped and fell on the snow. And the person had to be rushed to the emergency room. So my mother had to use the shovel to shovel the snow. And my mother felt like that daughter was just trying to reenact the Home Alone movie, where this kid, when thieves were invading his home, he left all kinds of stuff on the floor for them to trip and fall on. And they always saw that movie Home Alone in American cable, but that daughter has cable. So I'm sure she knows about the Home Alone movie. And she was like, that was one thing she noticed I changed about that daughter. And anytime that daughter Polanyi gave her food, the food would make my mother sick. She would start having bloody diarrhea. Like that daughter put counterfeit poison in the food on synthetic marijuana. Then my mother fled to the hospital on the Greyhound bus from Pennsylvania. She started having a heart attack on the bus. The bus had to pull over. And she told the bus they wanted to take her back to Pennsylvania. She told them no, keep driving to New York. Because she didn't feel safe to be in Pennsylvania anymore. She said that daughter was moving with some bad gangs in Pennsylvania, and she didn't feel safe in any hospital. She thought New York would be safer for her. And as soon as she got here, those days that I came to the hospital, my mother was in shock. Like, how did the daughters know what hospital she's in? Because my mother didn't even tell me what hospital she's in. She was talking to me on the phone, and she wouldn't tell me what hospital she's in. I said she told those daughters also that they shouldn't worry. She's not going to tell them what hospital she's in. And those daughters showed up in the hospital 2 days later. My mother was in shock and they started messing with her, telling the hospital to lock her up. And got my mother's high blood pressure escalating until my mother died due to all that nagging and pressure. You can nag somebody to death. My mother already had a high blood pressure. Dealing with the NYPD, taking our home, and all these cases and my immigration case. So my mother was already at the boiling point. And those dogs would come to the hospital, nag her. So my mother finally died. And those hospital, the hospital told me those dogs said they don't want an autopsy, they don't want to find out how she died. And they were like, thank you very much. They told the hospital, thank you very much. I guess. And since they stole my mother's property, I don't know what, if all my mother was telling me that they may be doing life insurance policy scam is also true. Nobody informs me about nothing. The life insurance companies in America, I would think for them to issue a payment, they will try to contact other family members. I'm always online, Facebook, to find out if the death is suspicious or not. No. So I don't know if what my mother is telling me is true, that those daughters she suspect they've been beating life insurance policy fraud and they're trying to kill her. But I know definitely they may be trying to kill her. Since my mother was suing the NYPD, so they've been trying to kill her so that any money me and my mother gets will go to them also, because they never lived with us in New York City. They always lived in Pennsylvania, had their own homes. And my mother has another daughter in Nigeria. She said she believed that daughter is also part of the collusion. So my mother didn't feel so. That daughter in Nigeria, Funke, tried to throw me out of the window when I was a child because she was mad that my father was different from our father. My mother got arrested, but the Nigerian police doesn't really prosecute child abuse cases. And also, that Funke's father is a very powerful guy in Nigeria, so his family freed the Funke from prison and stuff. So I never got justice in Nigeria, and now I can't get justice either. There are black Americans like Eric Adams that believe hurting me may give them more money, and because they can then use that as a leverage to to sue the feds that they were also involved in Eric Garner's killing. So it seems like it's just a money game, and they're just trying to get me killed as soon as possible in a violent way, and even involve the police also, or just have a black American knock me down so I won't be able to get up again. And then, and they hope, people will then march, and then they will discover through the feds and the NYPD, a lot of this stuff were happening, and then maybe the Uganda family can then sue each other. I believe that's what they want, because their lawyer Benjamin Crump promised to help me, and then he went dead cold silent. The first time I spoke with him, he said he was going to help me. Then weeks later, I got arrested by the police. They stole my green card, and after that, I've been contacting them every day. It wouldn't help me anymore. So it's like they're just waiting for me to die, and they believe that'll be the leverage for the feds to also pay their Uganda family. But now they may not even forget about the money. People just want me to die, period, because I exposed so much stuff. And now I think people will even be happy just to avoid prison, have me die as a witness, and they're not going to prison. So so even if I die and people are quiet, that doesn't mean they should get away with this. People need to be investigated, prosecuted for playing a role in keeping quiet. So that regard, I contact him all the time. He doesn't help me. I saw him at the Immigration Federal Plaza here. I approached him and said, "Can you please help me?" He ignored me and walked towards New York Law School. So he's playing a game of not helping me, and he's been lying that anytime he sees a homeless, he helps them. So I guess they're going to make me look like I'm just a crazy homeless. That's why he doesn't help me. Because they claim it's been helping every homeless you see. So I don't know, what his excuse is going to be. I contact him on video every day, on Instagram, and he controls the shelter system and everything. Even to the extent that they said they built a shelter, luxurious hotel rooms for people that get released from prison. They put them in luxurious hotel rooms there, $60,000 a month. A 5-star hotel. So I don't know why, this Ricardo, I don't know if he has a prison fantasy or thinks he's going to end up in prison. So that's one of his highest priority, that people released from prison, New York State prison, should be housed in 5-star hotel, so that they shouldn't be homeless on the street. They said even his son went and stayed in that hotel, even though his son was homeless. So his son, Jordan Adams, must know why his father is. It's not even funny. I said out of all the hotels that some would pick, he took the hotels for former prisoners, and he went and stayed there also. And when they asked Eric Adams about it, we said he posted out laughing. Yeah, his son likes good things. So this is not even funny. And even having Bragg wouldn't help me either. I saw him around this neighborhood further down, in front of a park called a park called Washington Market Park. The black American workers, they also tried to jump me and call the police on me also. And then the police would tell me, sit down. You're the one bothering people. We're going to have you checked up. So they're just trying to get me arrested and kill me. They say a lot of people that have been under custody of the NYPD, they are choking them dead. They choked me also the last time they arrested me in 2019. So they just sent me out for, harassment and stuff, and wanting people to bump into my stuff. They said this Eric Adams brought back a police unit to go after people that are acting unruly, and they're just trying to set me up. I normally hide behind that fire extinguisher pipe, and then this guy was calling me that doesn't want to be there, and this food cart is blocking the side. That's why I don't people normally give me money. And there's some black Americans that always try to bump into me, and I always report like, look, I'm always hiding behind this fire extinguisher pipe. So that this guy has the rich black American guy, he always comes to work around 10 minutes. And I'm the first thing to come and try to bump into, do like, they're hitting me. I said, I will knock you down, nigga. You just a word, so this is sickening. And the international community is investigators as a genocide where black, they say it's happened in Liberia, whereby some black Americans that were returned to Africa after slavery ended were killing the Africans there in Liberia, and it turned to a brutal civil war. So I think this Eric Adams wants to revenge in a type of reenact a Liberian civil war where black Americans were killing Africans here in the United States. And so I've been trained by some black Americans that they're going to start killing Africans here in New York City. And since then, this Eric Adams has been moving funny. There was the time I used to get harassed. It was the borough president. As soon as Eric Adams got killed, I used to get harassed in the train station. They'll bring the police to the bathroom. And so I would go across the street to the borough hall. Eric Adams was the borough president around 2016. And 2016 in that time period. And I said, please stop harassing me in the bathroom, you police officer. I said in Ohio, and I just became mayor. I said in Iowa, the elected undocumented immigrants have driver's license. I said, stop harassing me in New York needs to correct me. And then, so I started using other bathrooms, and then they put a sign in the other bathroom, and normally say, die soon, poser. So, and they'll be making fun of me that, I speak with a fake American accent. I'm not a real New Yorker. I need to stop with my fake accent and stuff. Then soon after that, the police invaded me. So I stopped. Anybody attack me, I'll go to another neighborhood, and they will come and attack me also. I went from Manhattan to Quad Street near Eric Adams' office. When they started attacking me there, I started going to Prospect Park train station to use the bathroom on the Q line. Then one day I was using the bathroom on July 20, 2019. A gang came in, were there, and they put a smoke bomb in the bathroom. The whole place was smoke filled. I was coughing, I couldn't breathe, so I recorded everything. I said, look, I'm going to post this online. So I don't know why they're hiring gangs to attack me. Even on Chambers Street bathroom, anytime I'm in the bathroom, they'll bring gangs to carry my bag out of the bathroom and throw it in the train track. And I'll call 911, the police wouldn't help me. I would be laughing, hugging the gang member, said thank you. I'm like, what is going on? So anybody that attacked me, I wouldn't go there no more. I'll go to another place, and they will just attack me everywhere. I'm like, this is a well-coordinated attack. So on July 20, 2019, I was using the bathroom at the Q line, Prospect Park, and they put a smoke bomb. The whole place was filled with smoke. I was coughing, I couldn't breathe. So I was like, I recorded everything. I said, I'm going to post the video today online, and today this is going to stop. People are going to help investigate it. I said, this is terrorism. You have no right to set up a smoke bomb in the bathroom. And so I left that train station, and I ended up at J Street train station on the R platform in Brooklyn. And an MTA worker came around and said, you're done today. So I tried to record him, and he quickly left. So I said, that guy just told me I'm done today. I said, this is like a gang assault, and since the government here is helping coordinate these gang members attacking me. Then I went to Bay Ridge, then I left that area. Then I went to another area in Brooklyn called Bay Ridge Avenue and 4th Avenue. There's a police camera there, like this. And all of a sudden, a white guy came and then hit me in my head. He was pulling my hair. I told him to stop doing that. Then the police surrounded me. I said, why are you surrounding me? Police officer said, we heard the fight. I said, no, I wasn't really fighting. I was just telling the white guy to stop pulling my hair. So I've been getting arrested all day today. And while I was talking, the police knocked me down and choked me, went into my belongings, stole my green card, stole my social green card, and went and locked me up in the hospital. July 20, 2019. You know, and while I was in the hospital and stuff, Trump was president in 2019. He was also doing immigration raid. And the head of the Immigration Services, United States Citizenship Services, USCIS, his name was Cuccinelli. And he was saying, we need immigrants that can stand on their 2 feet. So as they were choking me, I was trying to stand up, you know, because they were going into my bag trying to steal my green card. So I said, please don't steal my stuff. I was trying to stand up, and they were choking me further, you know, because, you know, they had already told me they were going to set me up anywhere I go. I'm going to steal all my property, the police. You know, so no matter where you go, they're going to arrest you from it and steal everything you have. So as they were choking me, I was trying to get up, you know, because I saw they were headed towards where my green card was. So I was trying to save my green card. You know, I said, please, I need my green card, don't steal my stuff. I have the video on YouTube. I said, don't steal my stuff. And they were choking me further. And the head of U.S. Immigration made a statement after that, said, we need immigrants that can stand on their 2 feet. We don't want these poor immigrants. As he said, even though the Statue of Liberty said, bring your poor, they will refuse to accept poor people. And then a Statue of Liberty tour guide, a black American guy, was trying to kill me. I think following the order of this Trump and his head of U.S. immigration, that immigrants that are poor should be knocked out. So this black American would always come near me. I said, I'll knock you out, nigga. I will hit me. So this guy's trying to make it easier for him to come knock me down. You know, because I always report anytime he say, I'm going to knock you down, nigga. You know, get out of here, nigga. You know, so I always hide underneath this, you know, fire hose, you know, pipeline. So in case he kills me and knocks me down, they will see, you know, he did it on purpose. I'm not in his way. So this guy told me he doesn't want me in this neighborhood. He's using his shit particular. The fire hydrant. Yeah, that's what it's called, fire hydrant. I'm sorry, I don't really speak American English. You know, so they make fun of me that you're a faker. You always try to speak American English. You know, shut up. You know, I'm like, I'm so sorry if I use American terms. That doesn't make me a faker. You know, because I was struggling. I didn't know what to call it. I believe it's called fire hydrant in America. And sometimes when I speak, I try to pronounce words to sound clear. You know, they don't really have that in Nigeria, so I didn't grow up knowing what that was. You know, so I was struggling, don't know what a fire hydrant was. I was calling a fire hose pipeline. You know, so some the people say, no, don't be using American words. No, you're a poser, you're fake. You know, so I'm like, I'm sorry. You know, it's my using American expressions annoys you. I'm just trying to communicate better. I said, no, don't use American words. I say in Nigeria we don't have fire hydrants, so I call it a fire hose pipeline. Until the word got it, you know. So because of that, they put graffiti in every bathroom I would use. At that time, said die soon poser, and they were picking on me. And they finally choked me, stole my green card, locked me up in the psych ward. You know, free mental on me. Then I got them. Then went to Harlem. Weeks later, on January 20, 2020, while COVID was going on, he said, I made a statement to mock me, and it was repeating everything I used to say. They say he's friends with the FBI. I've always been under FBI surveillance since my brother brought me in 2000. Even Eric Adams, building commissioner, former building commissioner Ulrich, said before they arrested him also, Eric Adams used to snitch to him that, they're going to arrest him soon, Ulrich. So the FBI is watching him. So this Eric Adams has been working with the police since 1980s. So he has made so much friends, all the bad law enforcement in America, FBI and everything. So through his police work, he's made friends with a lot of them. So they always tell him if somebody's on the FBI watch. So they put me on FBI surveillance. My brother brought me in 2000, so children are not allowed here. So I guess, he's able to, they release any information about me to this Eric Adams. So as soon as the police choked me and stole my green card and locked me up in 2019, July 2019, this Eric Adams made a statement some weeks later on January 20, 2020, say, we're not going to welcome you outsiders thinking you can come to New York and be a part of our community. Say no, go back to Ohio, go back to Iowa. We're not going to welcome you. We're not going to tolerate your speech. And it was referencing the same thing I would say, which I guess it was hearing to my FBI surveillance, or sometimes I go in front of his office to say the same thing. But I think there's a window to the office that really hear me. But somebody sneaks Ulrich, since they arrested Ulrich, Eric Adams for corruption. He said it's Eric Adams, they always give him. Some of the FBI, corrupt officers always tell Eric Adams, give him every information wrong, illegally. So if he knows you and likes you, it will let you know they're under FBI to hide their phones, and stuff. So the FBI won't be able to listen to your conversations. So this, I guess, what this FBI does. And and they use that information you acquired illegally from the FBI to taunt me as soon as the police choked me and stole my green card. And he said, you go back to Ohio, you go back to Iowa. I used to say that in Ohio, they allowed the Nigerians to become a mayor. And I used to say in Iowa, they are letting undocumented immigrants have driver license. And the only way this Eric Adams would have known is through the FBI surveillance. Somebody must have told him. Because, when I'm speaking, it's not there, so how would he know the exact same thing I say? And it was trying to say, you go back to Ohio, you go back to Iowa, you're not going to be welcome, we're not going to tolerate your speech and stuff. And so they took my green card, took my social security card, and and this Eric Adams became mayor after that, and they wouldn't help me with nothing except trying to set me up. So please, I'm expressing gang violence, gang assault, whereby starting from the Eric Adams, and this Trump also trying to, his friend finally died at Bernard Carey, trying to protect his friend for his possible link of his friend to the Arizona killing, because my mother was being terrorized as soon as she called the NYPD terrorist. I was being terrorized also. I used to call 911, seeking help from the same people terrorizing me. They used to send street gangs to attack me and my mother, and I would call 911, they wouldn't help me. So there's a part of using street gangs like this thug, I would knock you down, nigga. And I used to hide behind this fire hydrant, and so this guy, this guy went to hide under the fire hydrant. He started stacking. Today, when I came here, they stack all these food carts. Normally, they don't place all the food carts together. They'll place one here, place one there. They try to create, but now they're colluding, and they told me they don't want me anywhere, and they told me you're going to be killed. So the housing gang members attacked me. So I'm going to be killed. I'm not going to be welcome anywhere. So I believe that the police and law enforcement are using, civilians to attack people like me, foreigners. They're trying to protect Trump's friend Bernard Carey. They're threatening me and my mother as losers that live in basement apartment. After my mother called the NYPD terrorists, it was the Homeland Security chief in 2010, and since then, me and my mother have been experiencing gang assault, civilians trying to barge into us and beat us up. My mother used to call 911 till she died. Our own girls joined it to make her death easier, and stole everything. So I don't know who to trust. So in case I get killed or harmed, no family member or friend should inherit my property. My mother was reaching out to her family in Canada, England, everywhere, and nobody would help her in Nigeria. So it's like, that was so odd. And she told me, if she ever dies, I shouldn't reach out to any family or friend. I should just keep reaching out to strangers. There's something strange happening, And even the Nigerian church my mother used to attend, as soon as they killed Aragana in New York, they said an American plane was sent to Nigeria to blow up that church. A Russian military spy plane, so they saw an American plane go to Nigeria around that time. And the pastor of the church contribution said he saw a plane was on top of his building and was just acting menacing, and his building came crashing down and killed a lot of Nigerians. And there were some Americans in that church, but that Joshua placed the white Americans in a special part of the church. So the plane didn't bomb that special part of the church that the white Americans were, and only bombed where the Nigerians and South Africans were. Which makes it look more credible what the Russians were saying, that an American military plane went to Nigeria in 2014 and the Russian spy plane followed it there, because they were wondering what is going on in Nigeria. There wasn't nothing special going on in Nigeria that was instead an American warplane going there. So it left the German air base. So for my exposing all this stuff, Trump is trying to protect his friend's legacy. His friend died this of heart attack. Nobody will arrest the friend. I was trying to get lawyers here in America to help me. But everybody's afraid of going after Trump because Trump has been insisting anybody comes after him, whether it's Comey, whether it's anybody, he's going to come after them. So a lot of people don't want to help me. So this is intimidation. So I'm just alone. I think I'm saying they're going to knock me down, and silence me forever. So I'm expressing gang intimidation, war crime type abuse. And then they said they're going to frame me up in the bathroom and say I'm doing drugs. So they said, people are alleging that Trump left Eric Adams, freed him from his Turkish bribery scandal case, and dismissed the criminal charges to help him carry out a nefarious agenda. And nobody will speak for them. All the federal prosecutors resigned when Trump told them to drop the Eric Adams case. They say it's true. When Trump told them to drop the Eric Adams case, they say it's a form of quid pro quo. But nobody wants to speak out fully to help me. But I guess they feel, why should they make my case better and I will get all the money? What's in it for them? So some people have been telling me they want to engage in fake marriage with me. I'm like, no, I don't need to bribe you to tell the truth. If you know anything and you don't want to speak, fine. I will continue to say what I know. So they say all the federal prosecutors resign. A lot of them resign and said that they're not going to accede to Trump's request to drop charges for Eric Adams. So I believe there's a collusion going on between Trump and Eric Adams, whereby this Eric Adams is setting the stage where it's corrupt police, and they say this Eric Adams is also close to the community. He used to be a gang banger also, went to prison for beating up somebody with his gang, so it's helping to coordinate the gang attack, and they believe they can just kill me and make me look like I'm just a Nigerian, I'm a nuisance, and I got killed by many people, blocking the crosswalk. So this is a setup, so please donate to my Cash App NYC Homeless so I can get off the street, rent a hotel. They stole my green card, I can't go to work. They stole all my ID. Even when I applied for food stamp card last year, they wouldn't put my picture on the food stamp card. They said they got a directive that they should stop putting pictures in food stamp cards. So I don't have any photo ID. And if you don't have any photo ID, it's hard to survive anywhere in the world, especially as a foreigner. So this is my food stamp card, and they removed the photo. There's no photo there anymore. They said they're doing that to make the food stamp card more safe, more secure. I'm like, don't you think having a picture that makes it more secure? They say removing the picture makes it more safe. They're turning everything upside down and just cleaning up people's intelligence. If you're trying to prevent theft of the food stamp card, why wouldn't you leave the picture leave the picture there so that people can then know who the real owner is instead of removing the picture makes it more safe. But they left the name, date of birth, and everything else on the card. Including the card number on the card. But you think if you're trying to make the card safe, then maybe just give you a blank sheet of paper, a microchip, so nobody will be able to see nothing on the surface of the paper. And people just need to, they said no, removing the picture makes it safe. As soon as I applied for the food stamp last year, because Biden made it easy that even if you don't have any ID, you can apply for food stamp. And because it's emergency assistance, they shouldn't worry about ID. So I applied for it, and they took my picture, and when they gave me the card without the picture, I was like, why? They're like, they just got a directive that is to remove the picture for the food stamp card to make it more safe for people trying to steal it. You think having a picture in the, so under Section 1986, nobody should use any kind of disguises to abuse an immigrant. So it's hard for me to even rent a hotel room. I get $200 a month on food stamp, but without a photo ID, I can't even rent a hotel room. So they want to keep me stuck on the street, unable to use the hotel room, and they're making me crazy, making me dirty and crazy. And even they told me, we're going to kill you in the bathroom, so stop using any bathroom. So they want me, they're using gang torture, gang grooming, and stuff. So this is a war crime, and they place all their security guards to be watching me and calling the police on me anytime somebody starts beating me up, and to frame me up as a violent person. I said, they said they've killed black Americans this way by watching them from Ahmaud Marbury to what's his name, Dada Neely, who was saying he was fed up with life as a homeless person. was being mistreated, and the white guy snuck behind him and choked him dead right away. So anytime they kill a black American, they always try to reenact that method on me. So this was going on. I know in America would help me. Everybody's afraid of Trump, but this Trump is going hard against anybody that comes against them. So, and it's using these intimidation tactics, deporting immigrants. So I'm an immigrant. I expose this Trump, so I'm all alone. Yeah, people keep telling me I'm going to be bye-bye. They always tell me bye-bye. You're going to get deported. So I'm an immigrant exposing Trump. And this one is going hard against anybody. They're sending me letters. Say, I have a mailbox for homeless, for people that don't have an address. And they told me I have a special package waiting for me. And when I go to the post office, they'll tell me, so I call them. It's a special mail service. They said Trump is now in charge of the United States Photo Service. Because I've been noticing all my letters have been getting stolen. If I apply for anything, like my bank card, because I'm trying to start my life over, they stole all my bank cards and stuff. So they told me I have a letter, a special package. And when I go to the post office, they won't give it to me. And the code number is WHGPA. It's like White House. So I don't know if it's my deportation letter they're going to send to me. So, when I go here, so they play with my mind. They told me I have a special package. And here, black Americans want to beat me up. Ricardo also, I saw me around this neighborhood. I said, so can you help me? Wouldn't help me. So I criticize Trump. I criticize the Ricardans. I'm a Nigerian. My mother's been killed. A black American American has been killed. So I'm being intimidated as a Nigerian, and they believe we can F up this African. They're nobody. And nobody has the right to do this. So they tell me I have a special package waiting for me. Each time I go to the post office, it's called a special locker box, gold locker. They tell me, they don't want to give it to me yet. So this is intimidation. They need to stop scaring me. If they have any problem with me, let's meet in court, fine. I got a lot of things to expose. My friend Arugana was killed, but stop scaring me, stop wasting my time. I got a lot of things to expose about Trump. I can't wait to come to court. My mother was a U.S. citizen killed, Arugana was a U.S. citizen killed, so please, stop all this intimidation. Nobody should be above the law. So please go to my Cash App NYC Homeless. They're withholding all my mail packages, and the one is to investigate this. Because nobody should be getting killed and witnesses like me be silenced and without deportation.